talk about the rain. And river levels are continuing to rise around the Twin Cities this morning.
State leaders are holding a briefing later this morning in a few hours to give us an update on the state's emergency response. It's ever-changing. Bill Keller live for us in St. Paul, where the water continues to rise and more water to deal with this morning. Hi, Bill.
Good morning. Kind of getting hit from both directions. The water is rising and it is also falling. It was absolutely pouring for several hours. Now mostly a little break between the storm. Take a look. The river's cresting in some areas, but the Mississippi is still on the rise. Look at how wide it is and look at how fast the water is moving. In fact, we've got video from right in this area that shows how widespread the flooding is. In fact, right now the water level at St. Paul several feet above major flood stage, and it is forecasted to come up another foot or so before finally cresting on Sunday. Now, high water has shut down Harriet Island. Parts of the park are submerged. You see the pavilion has been now surrounded by water. Farther to the east, Washington County will hold an emergency meeting this afternoon. They'll be addressing the flood concerns there. And the sheriff's office says they will present an emergency declaration that will allow the county, I should say, to have an action plan, try to protect some public infrastructure as well as public safety concerns will be addressed. Keep in mind, Washington County is bordered by both the Mississippi River and the St. Croix. In fact, take a look at these images coming out of Cottage Grove, where the city announcing 2 additional closures because of flooding. They include Gray Cloud Trail, the bridge is now closed, and also the Gray Cloud Drive Causeway expected to be shut down today. The city says no vehicle or pedestrian traffic will be allowed in that area until further notice. Meanwhile, in Burnsville, Xcel Energy taking steps to protect a big power station there, the Black Dog Power Station. They're concerned about the rising Minnesota River. The company's sandbagging yesterday to protect that facility, doing that as a precaution. Black Dog Road remains closed from 35W on the west to Egan on the east. And over in St. Croix, on the St. Croix River, there is now a no wake zone in place. They're doing that to try and protect the shoreline from any damage. Still, a lot of communities taking precautions to do the best they can. This rain really is not going to help. The umbrella not helping too much as well, because it is kind of windy out here. Guys, I'll throw it back to you.
I was impressed that you held on to it that long.
Hang on, Bill, hang on. All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah, the recent flooding also continuing to not only impact homes and roadways, of course, but also summer plans. Valley Fair in Shakopee announcing overnight that they are now postponing their 4th of July fireworks show. The park will reschedule the show for later this season. Of course, we know Valley Fair in some parts underwater. They're revisiting daily operation hours as well. They will now be open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. until further notice. Soak City hours will be 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
It's kind of the whole thing is Soak City right now. 7:06 is the time. We'll look at some of the other stories making headlines at this hour. Officials in southern Minnesota are continuing to monitor the bridge next to the Rapidan Dam. The stability of the bridge remains a major concern after the dam's partial failure. Skyfox drone shows you just how much of the riverbank has been washed away by those floodwaters. Now that cliff is creeping closer to the historic dam store after claiming a family's home that just fell into the floodwater Tuesday night.
In fact, anyone cleaning up flood damage in St. Louis County, officials say they will take your debris off of your hands, no charge. St. Louis Environmental Services will take those materials at 10 different locations in the areas hardest hit by the flooding. The usual fee for dropping this type of debris off is waived until August. Crews are still working, of course, on road repairs and have all but 5 routes back open, most of them in northern St. Louis County.